The head-to-head situation favors heavily Tunisia, and the last 6 games overall has been Tunisia all through, with 16 goals scored and just 1 considered. And if you come through Afcon, in the last 2 Afcon meetings, it's been wins for Tunisia, 6 goals scored and just 1 considered. Where do you see the pendulum swinging this time around?
I look at the captain of Tunisia, Sassi. He's going to be very key in that midfield. Over 90 caps for his country. His experience is going to be very key in the midfield. But on the other side of Uganda, I see Mato. Mato has got 17 games, 15 goals for his club. And that man, I'm looking at him getting the goals for Uganda. So I'll go for 2-1 score for Tunisia to win.
2-1 score? Give me your score quickly. 3-1 score. For Tunisia? For Tunisia. Miguel?
I will go for a draw this time.
A draw?
Yeah,
I'm loving that, man. A score draw, barren draw.
Yeah, maybe a 1-1. So both teams, they will score. But yeah, I think I will go for a draw.
I like the thought of that. First 45 minutes is standing by in Rabat. It's Tunisia in their 3rd expression as regards the Africa Cup of Nations of Morocco 2025. Let's see how things will look out there.
In the game with Hollywood Bets. Be in the game with Hollywood Bets. South Africa's Lions and Cheetahs will be back hunting for the EPCR Challenge Cup Honours this season. Let's break it down to see how the tournament works. 18 teams will be taking part in the 2nd tier club competition. 3 pools of 6 comprise 8 teams from the URC.
South Africa's Lions and Cheetahs will be back hunting for the EPCR Challenge Cup Honours this season. Let's break it down to see how the tournament works. 18 teams will be taking part in the 2nd tier club competition. 3 pools of 6 comprise 8 teams from the URC, 6 from France's top 14, 2 from the English Premiership, and 2 additional invited clubs. Teams earn 4 points for a win and 2 for a draw, with bonus points for scoring 4 tries or more in a match, or for losing by 7 points or fewer. After 4 weeks of matches, the 4 highest ranked clubs from each of the 3 pools will qualify for the knockout stage. They'll be joined by the 5th place teams from each of the pools in the top tier Investec Champions Cup. After the round of 16, quarters and semi-finals, 2 teams will emerge to battle it out in the Challenge Cup final in Bilbao on the 22nd of May.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is the competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This podcast is proudly brought to you by Tenbet, official betting.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is the competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by Tenbet. Tenbet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana. Tunisia, the 2004 champions, and Uganda, looking to see if they could go one better than their run to the final.
Welcome to the Moroccan capital, Rabat, for this Group C clash of the Total Africa Cup of Nations between Tunisia, the 2004 champions, and Uganda, looking to see if they can go one better than their run to the final way back in 1978. As you can see, the lights are dimmed in the background, the main stadium of this tournament with the stunning lights on it. And both these sides playing to see if they can catch Nigeria, who just a few moments ago beat Tanzania in the opening Group C game of this tournament by 2-1. Seria Jai and Ademola Lookman with the goals, seeing off at the Tanzanians. And Nigeria setting the early pace in the group. Can either Tunisia
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent. Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Let's bet on Africa. Maybe it all starts here to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here. But whether it's here or there, behind the screen, in the stands.
Let's bet on Africa. OneXBet.
Maybe it all starts here to end up there. Sure, for us, it rather starts here and finishes over there. But it also goes through here, doesn't it? But whether it's here or there, behind your screen, in the stands, or on the pitch, Orange is here, proudly supporting African football for over 15 years.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs dreamed and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
So the team's almost set to come out. The referee today from Gabon, Tanguy Patrice Mebian, just adjusting his earpiece. There were some problems in the earlier game for the refereeing crew. The Democratic Republic of Congo edged out Benin, also here in Rabat. Very different conditions. And a crowd sheltering in this stadium. Outside, largely open, covered on about just under half of the arena. And the fans, you can see on your screen now, are underneath the huge awning effectively above them as they shelter from the rain. Pity the poor Tunisian fans over on the far side who are braving the elements on what is a very, very wet night. This the first Africa Cup of Nations played in winter, the first ever to take place prior to the festive period, including Christmas Day and New Year. And it brings very different conditions to what we are used to at Africa's premier sporting event. The Confederation of African Football's anthem rings out. And as the officials lead out, Uganda on the left of your screen and Tunisia on the right. The flags of some of the other teams competing in the tournament
lit up in the stadium that will host the final on the 18th of January. Will Tunisia be there? They have not reached the decisive match of the Afcon since they lifted the trophy on home soil in 2004. Uganda, well, it would be a distant dream for them. They have found victories in this competition very hard to come by. Just one outside of that remarkable run in 1978. The national anthems will take place before we can get underway. And we are going to be starting with that of Tunisia. Huge support, as you might expect, for a Nations Cup in North Africa. For Tunisia and now Uganda's national anthem. The Uganda flag flying high as the Cranes return to the top table of African football. Led by skipper Khalid Aucho. His opposite counterpart tonight, Fajani Sassi. And as we see the Tunisia line up, some familiar figures from the team that played in the 2022 World Cup. Having kept goal for the Carthage Eagles then, and the likes of Abdi, Taubi and Bron. Having appeared as well, Hannibal Mejbri will try to keep things tight in the middle of the park with Skiri alongside him. And they'll be relying for goals from the likes of Hazem Mastouri and Elias Bechuri. So confirmation of the referee today, Mebian, accompanied by assistants from Gabon. And the Pierre Guillain Acho also from Gabon. An experienced official on the continent. Well, Uganda, what a moment it is for them. They were quarter-finalists on their last appearance in 2019. Obita, John Obita at the heart of the defence. Well, he's normally accompanied by Elio Capradossi, but Capradossi doesn't even make the matchday squad today. Rogers Matterworth keeping an eye on. He's been in good form for his club in Macedonia. And Stephen McQuarrie will hopefully also chip in with the goals and keep an eye out for the man wearing number 27, Lorenzo Melvin, who could prove something of a surprise package tonight for Uganda. 31 years of age, winning just his 4th cap. His first came way back in 2016. There he is, Melvin. He's a man who's got Bundesliga experience as well, and played the Eredivisie in the Netherlands, but very, very few Uganda caps. How will he do tonight? So we are underway. Tunisia playing from right to left, all in white, kicking us off. Uganda all in red. From left to right as the rain teams down. And there's a good early possession here for Tunisia. Ali Abdi making good ground down the left-hand side. Mejbri swings it in deep. And this will come as far as Jan Valery. He's this football with Sheffield Wednesday in England. Well, Tunisia are making their 22nd visit to the Afcon and taking the field tonight. They are continuing their remarkable record in the competition, qualifying time and again, a record-extending 17th straight appearance in the tournament, present at every tournament since 1994. Despite such consistency, success has been relatively elusive. Just one semi-final appearance since winning the trophy in 2004 on home soil, which they achieved against Morocco, hosts this time around. And they got to the semis in 2019 to the Carthage Eagles. They made it here this time around, finishing second in their group behind Comoros. The surprise package, the Gambia and Madagascar, finishing third and bottom of the group. And while their Afcon qualification campaign may have been not that impressive, while their World Cup form this year has been anything but for Tunisia. Absolutely blew their opponents away in reaching next year's World Cup. They made some good ground on the right-hand side, but that's well cut out by Aziz Kayoko. The whistles are deafening as the Cranes get a rare touch on the ball. Well, as for Uganda, their 8th visit to the tournament, and their first, as said, since Egypt in 2019. They also finished second in their group, just a point behind South Africa, who took third place at the last Africa Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast last year. A little bit of space here inside the area. Is there a chance for a shot? There is. Well, it was Sassi who had it, but straight at Salim Magula in the Uganda goal, but a promising opening very early on for the Tunisians. A time and space, just couldn't get the angle that he would have wanted, Sassi. And so Uganda finishing just a point behind South Africa in qualifying. Congo, Brazzaville and South Sudan effective also rounds in the group. And South Africa, a very impressive side in African football in recent times, reaching the World Cup under coach Hugo Bruce. And they took Cameroon to the title in 2017. And as said, a team that finished third in the tournament last year. There's a steady stream of rain that you may be able to hear. Many of the Tunisia side based in Europe. And a fair few of the Cranes team as well. Nicely played down the right-hand side. Balavica played into the middle. Important header away. John Abita it was who got it clear. Tunisia showing good intent in these early stages. Ali Abdi into Mesbury. Drop of the shoulder from the Burnley man. Outside of the boot, into the middle it goes. And he cannot guide that on target, but a thumbs up from Hazer Mastouri. It's a nice play from Tunisia. Inventive stuff, really good from Mesbury. Just needed a little bit more of a delicate touch from Mastouri. Not the easiest chance, admittedly. The two efforts on goal in the first 6 minutes, and they're coming forward against Tunisia. A little dink over. Mesbury again just muscled off it. Jude Samugali. Uganda. Well, they just need to get their foot on the ball in these opening minutes and just quell this early traffic going in one direction towards their goal. Toby Civic with the throw back into it. Rogers Torres. Abita. Kayondo with it. It's going to be some night for these Uganda players. I'm sure they were expecting a little bit of hostility, but perhaps not the deafening din that they are being subjected to every time they get on the ball. Drop of the shoulder from Eliassar Mesbury. Just 22 years of age. Mesbury winning his 40th cap today. The former Manchester United man. Saad spreading the play, but just too hard and too high for Elias Vishuri. The striker based in Denmark with FC Copenhagen. There's Mato, who Uganda will very much be looking forward for 2 goals today. Tabi just into Dylan Rock. Certainly a nice passing surface, and they're making the most of it in these early stages. Tunisia ball into the middle. Well, Tunisia wanting more. There's just a corner for now, as you can see. Claims of handball. Obita, well, he was slipping and falling. It seemed to come off the side of his chest. This will, of course, be checked by VAR. The whistles clearly indicating the displeasure of the Tunisian supporters. But on first glance, there didn't seem too much wrong with that. Meshri with the delivery, outswinging it into space and into the back of the net as well. Oh, what a start for the Tunisians. Elias Skiri leaping high and heading home and sending the hordes of Carthage Eagles and Tunisia supporters into raptures all around this stadium. They applied the pressure early on at Tunisia, and they have got their breakthrough as well. Like a boxer coming out with the big punches early on, they have done some damage. And Uganda, who sometimes find goals hard to come by, have got to find their way back into this game. 2 players unmarked on the far post. Routine stuff. But Skiri did really well just to guide that inside the post. Salim, well beaten. And he got over it well, the Eintracht Frankfurt man. And despite the efforts of Kayondo on the line, Tunisia lead by a goal to 0. And a dream start for them, and they really seem to be enjoying themselves on this wet surface, and they're coming forward again here. Salim comes together. Well, unsurprisingly, it is the Tunisian supporters. You can hear singing, their flag being waved all around. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how they go on in this tournament. As I said, regularly they qualify, just as they often do for the World Cup as well. But in truth, they often underwhelm at the major tournaments. And it was a point made by their coach, Sami Trabelsi, their former defender. In the run-up to this tournament, saying it is high time we translate our consistency into tangible success. Can't they keep this up? They've taken it quickly, but the referee unhappy, and they'll have to come back again. Meshri in a hurry, just like his colleagues. Aliati, wearing number 2, also standing over it there. Skiri, the goal scorer. Can they threaten again? Meshri goes deep again, and Skiri in space once more. On this occasion, he cannot get any contact, the 30-year-old. Well, once again, questions have to be asked as to where the Uganda markers were. Let Skiri run free. You would have thought, given what happened just over 3 minutes ago, that they might want to get a little bit tighter. First foray forward for the Cranes. What can they do with it? Semugabi, into the middle it goes. Still not fully clear. And in the end, it's Abdi who just hacks it away. And the referee reaching for his notebook and issuing the first yellow of the game, to the dismay of Aziz Kayondo, the Uganda left back. No stranger to the referee's notebook. And that angle, it doesn't look as bad as the previous one, but Kayondo has been sent off for his club, Slovan Liberec, in the Czech Republic already this season. Regular there. And he's now got nearly 80 minutes on a yellow card. And Asturi, the man down, I think the Tunisian player there, indicating that that was an elbow from Kayondo, and possibly wanting a little bit more than just the yellow. Well, I was talking about the African Cup of Nations qualifying campaign for Tunisia, which was pretty underwhelming. Contrasting it with their World Cup displays. They played 10 qualifiers in the World Cup. They won 9, drew 1, scored 22 and conceded none. And that is now what Uganda are up against as they played into the middle again. Cleared but not fully away. Sassi. Sassi unable to win the corner. And it will be a goal kick to Uganda. Kayondo just nicking it off the Tunisia skipper. Sassi again. One of 4 goalkeepers in the Tunisia squad. Free kick goes Tunisia's way. Asturi, the player fouled, and Aucho protesting his innocence, the 32-year-old skipper for Uganda. You never quite know what you're going to get with Tunisia, because despite that impressive World Cup qualifying campaign, they went to the Arrow Cup earlier this month, and once again they were not at their best, failing to get out of the group stage and facing the likes of Syria, Palestine and Qatar. And yet that poor display all came off the back of a highly creditable 1-1 draw with Brazil last month in a friendly. Saad just nudged over fairly. Nice civic according to the referee, and Uganda coming forward. Stephen Makwala back into Civic. Melvin trying to get on the end of that and just unable to do so. They need something to hold on to this game. Kenneth Semakula gets it back, then based in second tier in Saudi Arabia. Huge gap in midfield. In the centre of the pitch for Uganda. It's a pretty forceful shove by Bron. Swiftly penalised by the Gabonese referee. And taken quickly by Aucho. I used the boxing analogy earlier. So far, Uganda yet to lay their glove really on their opponents. They have only ever won one game in the Nations Cup outside of their run to the final in 1978. Uganda, and that was last time around in 2019 when they beat the Democratic Republic of Congo in their opening game. 2-0 in Cairo it ended. But that was that. What can they do this time around? Matches against Nigeria. And against Tanzania to follow, and you have to believe that Uganda will be looking to that game against Tanzania on Saturday to pick up the points that they need. Often just one win in the group stage is enough, with the third placed, the fourth third, best placed third. Both sides going through, excuse me, where you can see just what the conditions are like there for the slide for Melvin. He's a sort of Tyler, the 31-year-old. He has had a pretty remarkable career, born in London. Played for Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga from 2013-2016. Scoring there as well. Another couple of seasons with Den Haag in the Eredivisie, but nonetheless, only 3 caps for Uganda before tonight. Returning to the side last month. Oh, the referee decided that was a foul just as Uganda thought they might be getting away. Shake of the head from Stephen Makwala, based in Tanzania, where he plays for Simba, one of the 2 giants there, alongside Young Africans or Yanga. He'll be hugely invested in that game against Tanzania here in Rabat on Saturday. Well, after the high-intensity opening, things just calming down a little for the Tunisians. Slight lifting off the pedal for the North Africans. Semugabi. Abdi. Skiri. The ball just slowing up a little bit with the rain. Another push by Bron. Oh, yeah. long from Talby. Too heavy. And now based in France with Lorient. You've got to feel for them, but there is a Tunisian persuasion. May well be happy enough. Samuel Gabi has just indications of puddles beginning to form on the pitch and holding up the play. Uganda just getting on with it. Aucho. Samakula back into Obita. Cut out. And Sassi tries to get Tunisia on the move again. Mastouri. Mastouri nicely played from him. And a bit of space for Mastouri, but cut out by Samakula. Kayonda. Bit of space. Well, that's much better from Uganda. They made the ground up nicely. Good passing stuff and just beginning possibly to find their groove. Rogers Mato. Samakula. A lot of space. Torres. Torres again. Samakula. They've got their foot on the ball for once, Uganda. And as I say that, they spray one wide and lose possession. Mato. Samakula into Torres, the only member of the starting lineup based in Uganda. He plays for local side Vipers. And Ali Abdi just shrugging off Melvin. Sassi. Ushering Valerie forward. The 26-year-old gets on his bike and starts motoring up the right-hand side. Trying to play it inside, it does find it into Sassi. Tees it up for Mejbri. And Mejbri cannot keep it inside the far post. But that was the ball that really opened things up for Tunisia. And then just the body angle was a little bit wrong for Mejbri. Perhaps it would have been better if been going for the bottom right-hand corner instead of aiming for the left. Just the one goal in his 39 previous appearances for Mejbri. But he looks in the mood tonight. Samakula has been given a lot of space by the Tunisians. But now what he does with the ball. Now Well, Tunisia in Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast last time around ended up bottom of their group. They lost their opener to Namibia in what was a major shock. Dean Hotto with a very late goal. And they were unable to beat either Mali or South Africa. Going out at the first time of asking in the campaign before. They made it as far as the quarterfinals. Their run ended by Burkina Faso having seen off Nigeria in the round of 16. Yusuf Sakni was not part of the squad this time around. Sakni having played in a joint record 8 Africa Cup of Nations. A mainstay of the Tunisian side in recent times. To that stage exit, they would always at least reach the quarterfinals. Tunisia. Sefer Gabi plays his football in South Sudan. Nastouri trying to open it up, but Ashuri sandwiched by 2 Ugandan players. He went down as if hit by a missile. Let's have a look at this from Kayondo. A gentle tug from Sassi. And for theatrics from the 23-year-old left-back for Uganda. Either way, the referee happy an infringement was committed. And this is a chance for Uganda to find a way back into the game. Daman organising his defence to CS Faction goalkeeper. Melvin with the delivery. Can he find a player in red? Low and hard one, not like that, he won't. Disappointing ball in. Melvin Lorenzo. Matto trying to find his way past 3, unable to do so. Skuri's header from that corner. Still the major moment in this game. Uganda yet to force Ayman Daman into a save. Nastouri is down again. He's the man who scored the goal against Brazil last month. The 28-year-old based in Russia with FC Makaskala. And caught by Kayondo high on the thigh. And he's got to be careful as he's Kayondo, having picked up that yellow card earlier in the game. He's been left alone twice, Skuri, and he's in an ocean of space again on this near side. He's out of the picture, about 10 yards to the left of the furthest Uganda player, Skuri. There he is. Here's Mejbri aiming for him again. Good ball into the middle. Matto with a really important defensive clearance. Excellent delivery from Mejbri. Asking questions of the Uganda back line that they answered on this occasion. Ocho, unhappy. The most capped player in the squad apart from Dennis Onyango, the veteran goalkeeper for Uganda, who has been recalled to the side at the age of 40. After a 4-year absence. Hugely experienced figure for Uganda. And in Africa, club football having won the Champions League with Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa a few years ago. And even if he doesn't get on, I'm sure Onyango will bring considerable nous and advice to the Uganda dressing room. So too, of course, the Uganda coach Paul Putu took Burkina Faso to the final of the Nations Cup in 2013 against the odds. The Belgium having revitalised Uganda football after a little period in the wilderness, and at the right time too, because in 2 years' time, Uganda will be co-hosting the Africa Cup of Nations along with Kenya and Tanzania. And so this tournament is the perfect preparation for them. Ahead of that tournament, they want, of course, to be competitive, just as Kenya and Tanzania do, but Kenya not here this time around. Aujo. Abdu. Actually happy to go back to Glauben. Nicely linking up with Mesri. Abdi seemingly more alert than the Ugandans around him, but unable to find a colleague in white. Sad again. No infringement, according to the referee. To the displeasure of the Tunisian supporters, that's a lovely turn. Rogers Matto. Oh, the whistles will come even louder if Uganda could convert here, but Ron cuts out that attempted cross. And then it gets it away as well. The Switzerland-based man. There's Sami Chebelsi. Played at 4 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments, including in 1996. And the final in South Africa, where Bafana so memorably lifted the title into the middle it goes. Cut out and hacked high into the Rabat sky. Any level through time, but Civic was in behind, which Uganda has seldom been in this opening period. Chebelsi just played in 4 Nations Cups. He's also previously coached Tunisia at 2 in 2012 and 2013. Really good defending there from Skiri. A little nutmeg from Civic. In 2012, they reached the quarterfinals under Chebelsi. In 2013, they went out in the group stage. The 57-year-old says he's coming to this tournament with far more experience and ambition. In between his 2 roles with Tunisia, i.e. from 2013, and then taking charge again in February earlier this year. He spent 10 years managing one club in Qatar, which is pretty rare. That's loose at the back. Saad can pick this up. Gifted and given away by Salim Magula with the Uganda goal. Sassi. Mejbri into Skiri, space on the right-hand side. And he does go right to Valerie. Talbot. Mejbri. Oh, this is better from Tunisia. Saad. Likely needs support, and he's got Mejbri behind him. Here he is. Mejbri thinking about the strike, playing it wide. Valerie with the strike for Tunisia, back into Mejbri. Sassi. Well, it's pinball in the Uganda penalty area, but Tunisia still have it, still threatening. Shuri into Mastori, who cannot control it. Salim happily gathers, but then launches it long and they give it away again. Saad, drop of the shoulder. Good defensive tackle from MOROCCO. That's nice from Abdi. Space indeed. Oh, that is absolutely stunning. As Tunisia double their lead. Oh, what a way to do it. Sweet as you like. Elias Ashuri with a goal he will never forget. The roar was deafening inside the arena. And that was picture book stuff from the Carthage Eagles. And they are 2 goals to the good, and it all came from Salim's ball forward, which just came straight back to them. This was nice from Saad. Aucho thought he had done enough, but then Abdi did really well. And look at that, for both a cross and a finish. Measured both of them. Controlled side-footed volley. A moment to savour for Ashuri. And a comfortable 2-0 lead for the 2004 African champions. Well, he's not going to forget that in a hurry, the 26-year-old. Makwala trying to give Uganda something of a lifeline before the break. But they have struggled to get anything past the central defenders. That's a little bit of pushing and shoving. Nicely played by Civic. Well, he's got down the right-hand flank to good effect. Civic, who plays his football in the 3rd tier of English football with Burton Albion. But he's got to get back now. Space again. Tunisia looking for a third and looking to run right. Saad strikes a goal but cannot keep it down. And you can see from his reaction that he knows he should have done. Did everything right up to the strike. And just could not keep it down, the 25-year-old. But Tunisia almost putting this game to bed in the driving rain before the break. Long towards Makwala. Ron will cut it out. Well, just Mato. Civic again. Well, they'd be very happy just to get in formation, get in their structure. Tunisia, as Uganda come forward confident that they can snap out danger. And so far, that's exactly what they've done. Valerie. Tunisia ending the half as they began it with real intensity and purpose. Mato has switched flanks. The 22-year-old. Melvin has also come over to this near side. And as Uganda just trying to change it up. And a bit to find some change out of Tunisia. Heavy touch from the Kuala. Sassi. Here is Mato. Mato from distance. And Mato unable to test Darwin in goal. He can score goals from distance. He netted an outrageous strike against South Africa in qualifying in the game in Johannesburg. In the qualifying period between September and November last year, with Mato, he was just a few yards past the centre circle. A blistering strike, which admittedly the South African goalkeeper could have done better with, but it was still some hit from 40 yards or so. He's got 12 goals in 13 league games as well in Macedonia this season. Mato, the man who scored late there. And they needed to deliver here. Mejbri just sportingly going over to see if he's okay. Mato in behind. Mato onto his left foot. Strike a goal. Oh, that is an outstanding piece of defending from Dylan Bron. Getting his head in the way. Also a powerful strike from Mato. Oh, look at that. That's what you want to see from your defenders. And that's the sort of commitment that Tunisia fans want to see as well. There'll be 2 minutes of additional time at the end of this opening period. Is there time enough for Uganda to pull one back? Kayonda will swing this in. Up it goes. But headed away by the defence. Ashuri losing out, but because he was fouled according to the Gabonese official. And Tunisia will take their time. At the end of the half that they will be very happy with. They have just won one of their last 6 Nations Cup matches. They're looking very, very good and likely to add to that. Well, Abdi didn't get that right. Corner, will there be time to take it? Just about. Gets forward to really good effect down the left flank. Ali Abdi, who plays his full blue. The French top flight with Nice. Well, Mejbri needs to get a move on. He's applauding the Tunisian fans. Who sending the love back in his direction. Into the middle it goes in another corner. Well, we're past the 2 minutes. The play goes on. Mejbri again. Can they get added gloss on what has been a near perfect first half for Tunisia? Well, they can't because the referee puts his whistle to his lips to bring the first half to a close at opening 45. Saw Tunisia blow Uganda away. A blistering opening start was rewarded just 10 minutes in when Elias Skiri headed home from a corner. Then they took their foot off the gas a little bit, Tunisia, but 5 minutes before the break, Elias Ashuri scored a superb goal on the volley from Ali Abdi's measured, clipped cross to ensure that Tunisia go in 2 goals to the good at half-time. And looking very good to take all 3 points at half-time in this Group C encounter in Rabat. It is Tunisia 2, Uganda 0.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Power your moment. Techno, the global partner of Afcon 2025.
In the heart of every champion lies a journey, one of resilience, passion, and dedication. It's a journey that starts as a dream and is fueled by ambition. A journey made of the relentless pursuit of greatness. And greatness isn't given, it's earned. With every challenge, goal, and celebration, it's a journey that inspires generations. And one that proves that we are made of more. 10Bet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
No. Those tattoos.
They're coming. Guys! They're coming. Guys! Come on! Yes! Yes! Woo! She's probably head back, huh?
Let's back our team in Dakar 2026.
You reckon we could have scored a lift there? Eh?
Hey, baby. I missed you so much. What are you doing right now?
I'm in the car now with my family. We are going for lunch. I'll see you in the office on Monday. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have a way out.
This Emeka is a very funny guy.
With SportyBet, you do. Because with our maximum cash out availability, there's always a way out. SportyBet, winning is now that easy.
How long have you been doing this now?
15 years now.
15 years. Again. One more time.
I'll make a drink for you.
Turn on your summer success with the right partner, Telkom Business. Keep your team on track with super fast, reliable fiber.
Business communications? Streamlined with Cloud PABX. Fast, reliable connection for your business. Always on with unlimited LTE. Visit telcom.co.za/business or go to any Telcom store. Telcom Business. Possible begins here.
All the energy of African football with Total Energies.
Tinbet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
An excellent start for this Tunisia and the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia as they are in the lead. The first 45 minutes, they have dominated this game. 3 shots on target, 2 of those turning out to be goals. And I guess that's how you want to get things started. Interestingly, Uganda may have so much possession, but then it hasn't translated to anything at all. It has been Tunisia all through. They've been knocking on the door. They've been lethal. They have been a problem, absolutely dangerous in the final third of the Ugandan side. The Cranes are not having any kind of form of actually defending against this Tunisian side. If it continues this way, it will not look awesomely great for them. And you have to ask yourself, where will the Cranes be digging deep from and get themselves back into this fixture? Or would it be another situation where this same Tunisian side continue their fine form against the Cranes of Uganda? Where you did see the Cranes that they're having more possession. It's like a man who has billions in his account but doesn't know how to spend it. He's going to end up a pauper. That hopefully Crane will be hoping not to be their situation. But let's look at how the first goal came about. And you have to hand it to Skiri, who came through unmarked, absolutely unmarked. Where is the defense of this? I mean, as a goalkeeper, Dan, you will be very, very disappointed with your defenders. Nobody to shield you.
Actually, I'll be disappointed with my defenders because already there is a game plan there to say they're going to mark just in front of the box 6. They're going to mark compact and they're going to have 2 zoners there. But unfortunately, I don't see the man that's supposed to be at the back post that's supposed to mark Kiri was sitting deep inside the net. So hence, Kiri find himself an empty space to put the ball in.
How do you defend inside your own 18-yard area where you know goal line technology doesn't help it? But Miguel, Tunisia all through in this one. They came through again with the second goal as it came about. And look, I think they've been the better side. Their ball control, the way they've been utilizing the balls, spreading the cells, spreading this Ugandan side. And that's exactly what they do. Once they spread them, again, I've often said, Tunisian players are arguably one of the most technically gifted players on the continent. Just look at how that goal came about.
No, definitely. If you see according to the possession that Uganda had, it's called the fake possession because actually Tunisia was more clinical, had more passes forward, didn't have that game lateralized, So obviously, in the end of the day, what it counts, it's the goals, it's not the possession. My personal opinion is that you can have 70% of possession, but if you don't score, if you don't shoot on target like Uganda did, it doesn't matter, So I think Tunisia was smart in all these actions. For example, this goal, it's an amazing gest from Akuri. All the credits to Tunisia, and I hope that Uganda can come on the second half with a better spirit and better commitment.
So you want to break that down for us, how that came about?
It's a transitional goal because you look at Magula, he tries to play the ball to the striker, a transitional moment. They win it in the midfield, that is Tunisia. As soon as Sassi gets the ball, he plays it wide to Adi, who then goes to the bar line. We have seen it, the trend in the previous World Cup that we looked at. When players in modern football get to the line, they're no more crossing, they're bringing that cut back. But what a way to finish it first time, coming from Akuri in that moment. The man that plays his trade for Copenhagen in Denmark, he gets that first touch to finish. Look at how he drives, Adi. He drives forward. As soon as he gets there, he says, I'm not crossing, I'm giving the cut back. And for me, that finish looks easy. But any professional footballer will tell you, on the volley, you are jumping, both feet are off the ground, and you put that on target. Excellent finish from Makuri.
No, I mean, no laces there. This was the side foot there.
Pass the ball in the back of the net.
Beautiful. And I think no doubt that will be one of the goals to look out for. Well, I know for a fact that there's a whole lot to look forward to. When we return, the second 45 minutes is standing by.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
Here, we're known for our sense of service.
With the game still deadlocked, it's time for something new.
Let's light it up.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
Mom, did you know that some foods are really good for you? Like Nutriday. Only Nutriday has 11 vitamins and zinc and live cultures. Exactly. So they like superheroes for our tummy. So putting good gut bacteria. It said I should have 2 a day. I'll have another one too.
Only Nutriday is this deliciously good for the whole family. Nutriday, proud sponsor of the Africa Cup of Nations 2025. Now in a new look.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is a competition.
What's in the oven for you? Excuse-moi.
Everything. The rivalry run deep, my brother. When you hear the noise before you see them, families arrive.
Family meets at Afcon 2025, live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by 10Bet.
Well, that's the holiday over.
When you fly Emirates, your holiday isn't over until your flight is over.
10Bet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
So the team's coming back out, the referees too, and there are going to be some changes as well before the second half can get underway. Unsurprisingly, Uganda making more than the side that are leading. Dennis Ahmedi, one of those coming on. It hasn't quite worked out for Melvin Lorenzo, who is off. Travis Richaba as well coming on. Jude Semugabi, who flitted in and out of the game. Replaced Mutiaba, an attacking midfielder who plays his football in Tunisia. And as for Tunisia, well, Firaz Shawa, striker with Club Africain, one of the big teams back home in Tunisia, is on the 29-year-old. And we are back underway. And the rain, while still coming down, is far lighter than it was throughout that first half. Mato has been fouled. And Uganda need a swift start. A combination of Sassi and their goal scorer, Ashuri. Bringing down the Uganda. Confirmation of the substitutes in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Hazem Masturi, the man being replaced. Unclear if that's an injury or just a bit of game management. Mutiaba with an early delivery. Headed away by Ashuri. Mesbury. Now, thought for once by Kayondo. Then Saad breaks it up, and Mesbury with a little bit of space on the right-hand side. Sassi is through in the middle, but he tries to play it back into Saad. And Subic. Well, the ball just held up in the water, not once but twice. Saad. Valerie. Deep cross clipped in him. The first touch for Dennis Ahmedi. And not the best either. Saad with time and space to make it 3 for Tunisia. Well, they cannot get it away at times, Uganda, but eventually Salim comes out to smother the danger. Well, he was well close down 3 Cranes players there. Just for a moment it looked like wriggle in Tunisia's favour. Well, Ahmedi, who's come on, top scored for Uganda in the Nations Cup qualifiers, admittedly only with 2 goals. One of them a stunning long-range strike against South Africa. I was talking earlier about the goal from Rogers Mato in that game in Johannesburg just over 12 months or so ago. Ahmedi's effort was equally fine. They need something to build on in this game, Uganda. So they found it hard going in that opening period. Valerie. Sassi. Just too close confines in which to work. Well, good hunger from Tunisia. Sassi. Ashuri, who scored that stunning second for Tunisia. He does well to nick it off Kayondo, and that's surely going to be a corner to the Tunisians, and is. Well, they've showed some really good hunger in this game in Tunisia, and that's often been, or sometimes, I should say, been an accusation against the team from their fans. Mejbri again just whipping up the crowd as he comes over to the main stand to take the set piece. And it was from a delivery like this that they open the scoring through Skiri early on. Well, that's too deep. It goes over the head of Elias Skiri. Mato down again, and instantly the referee reaching for his notebook and for his yellow card. That's sad. It's the first Tunisian player to be cautioned in this game. Kayondo having picked one up early in the first half. Uganda, here he is, Aziz Kayondo. We just saw on screen plays for CS Faction, one of the biggest clubs in Tunisia. The 20-year-old is now tasked with fighting the hand that feeds him. If he can get the opportunities, Mejbri charging forward for Tunisia, trying to find a substitute, Shawat. Heavily involved, Mejbri in this encounter. Showing good determination again to win that back. Skiri. Olays from the Tunisian supporters who are enjoying this, particularly those over on the open stadium now that the rain has considerably eased, if not entirely stopped. Mejbri, nice footwork from him and clipped by Kayondo. Really has been all action. Ivan Mejbri, the former France Youth International, talking about his deep desire and love of representing Tunisia. In the run-up to this game. Well, Mutiara, as you can see, just the left foot of Bron, going on the metatarsal area of the Ugandan. There's Paul Put, the Belgian coach. He's never won an opening game at the Africa Cup of Nations, and that's a record that looks like continuing this, his fourth appearance at the tournament. And I said earlier, he led Burkina Faso to the final in 2013. That was his first ever Nations Cup. It was a fairly ignominious follow-up 2 years later when they exited in the group stage, the Stallions. But then in 2019, he took Guinea into the round of 16. Just one victory in the group could well be enough for him to take a third side into the knockout phase. And among those on the bench for Uganda is Alan Okello, who I think some, if not many, Cranes fans would have been surprised not to see in the starting lineup. Possibly he has an injury. He was a key man in the qualifying for both the Africa Cup of Nations and for the World Cup. 3 goals and 4 assists in the World Cup qualifiers. 3 assists in the Nations Cup qualifying campaign. But he is not on the pitch as of yet. Mutiara is back on. And Tunisia will make a change of it. And then outside the out below it, midfielder. His race is run. And Mohamed Ali then Romdan. He faces football with Egyptian giants. Al Ali, the most successful club in African club football, is on. As it comes into Mutiara, trying to twist and turn, get a shot away, unable to do so. Mejbri. Well, that's just going to go out. Well, Ben Romdan is not going to make life much easier for Uganda. He's got 4 goals this year, including the one that took the Carthage Eagles to the World Cup. And scoring very late on against Equatorial Guinea in September. A stoppage time striker it was. As it secured Tunisia's return to the World Cup. They beat France 1-0 in Qatar 4 years ago. 3 years ago, excuse me. What can they do when the tournament takes place in the United States, Canada and Mexico in just over 6 months' time? Mutiara, outswing, it goes in deep, headed forward, and they're claiming handball here, the Ugandans. We'll have to see on the replays how credible a claim that is. Oh, Civic just puts it out of touch. Well, they're still complaining to the referee, and he's just holding up the play. Let's have a look at this. Well, it certainly brushed the arm of the man who's just come on, Ben Romdan. But they are happy that his arm was not in an unnatural position. It was by his side, the substitute. And a quick decision taken by the officiating crew. Valerie. Finally impeded the 26-year-old. Sandwich between 2 Cranes players. Forward to Shawatu. Cannot win the header. Sassi charging forward for Tunisia. Just runs into John Obita. Kayondo. And a heavy touch from Kayondo, but he wins the free kick. Semakula. That's a clear foul. Pushing the back and maybe apologises as well to it. Ali Abdi jumping in the air, just about to when the challenge came in. Valerie, that's loose. This is an opportunity. Makwala, well, it was. He just couldn't take it. Stephen Makwala. Well, they have not had many sighters. Now the Tunisia goal, and he had options as well to the right of him. He did not hesitate to pull the trigger. The Simba player. And that was well wide of the mark. It's a smart time by Semakula, but it was a poor pass. Tunisia have it back. Skiri, he got us underway. Switch of play, looking for his fellow goal scorer, Ashuri. Nato fouled by Valerie. Not that he agrees with it. Well, this is the third meeting between these two sides of the Africa Cup of Nations. They last met in 1978, which was a special year for both sides. Uganda reached the Nations Cup final that year for the one and only time in their history. They were beaten by Ghana, hosts of the tournament. Tunisia, meanwhile, they beat Mexico at the 1978 World Cup that year, and that was a historic moment, given it was the first time any African side had ever won a game at the World Cup. For the record, when they met in 1978, Tunisia won by 3-1. Both sides went on to reach the semi-finals. Unlikely for a repeat this year, but you never know. Valerie into Skiri. Skiri into traffic. Abdi. Mejbri spent a lot of time on the floor in his desire to get his side going forward. Obita. Semakula. Mato. Now on the corner looking for Kayonda, who's got far forward. The full-back. They'll have to build again. Well, Uganda had the greater possession in the first half. It's just what they did with it that mattered. He did not have a shot on target as opposed to Tunisia's 3, 2 of which, of course, found the back of the net. Valerie into Sassi, looking to play around the corner into Ashuri. Mato. To Kayonda. Well, they're running out of ideas a little, Uganda. Semakula dispossessed. Sassi into Mejbri. Mejbri's pass was hitting the back of Subic. But still they come forward. Slightly heavy, but it's 4-on-3 here for Tunisia. Space for Abdi to strike. and they just surely make it 3, and they do. Ashuri with his second of the game, and a third goal for Tunisia, ensuring the 3-point twist were never really in any doubt. Salim Magula able to stop the first, but only spinning it into the path of the Copenhagen striker. And what a game he is having. Prior to tonight, he only ever scored 3 goals for Tunisia. Now his tally is up to 5. And his first was something of beauty. And his second was very, very routine and functional. But Tunisia are going top of the pile in Group C. 3 goals clear. And that's doing better than Nigeria's narrow 2-1 victory over Tanzania earlier in the day. Well, he has got the bit between his teeth. Well, that's a surety. I'm sure Sammy Trabelsi might start thinking about bringing the changes. And looking ahead to the big game on Saturday night. And it sets it up quite beautifully, Nigeria's clash against Tunisia in Fez. One of the pick of the group stage games. That's a lovely turn. Ashuri. Can he now turn provider? And he can't because it's cut out by Kayondo, and that'll be a corner to Tunisia. Well, he was having a night to remember, and having a year to remember as well. Won that League and Cup double with FC Copenhagen last season. With Ashuri.
If you can't read your phone up close and watch TV from across the room with the same pair of glasses,
as the rain begins to swing in again. Mesbury with the delivery. Show up, can't get anything on it. And you will do. Over back for Hamid Aucho. Ukraine's captain. Sassy in space. What's the delivery like? And he's picked out. The player in white, it's then Romdan. Ashuri unselfishly playing it forward.
Consistent matters. Because our team sometimes lack consistency. The camera is
match break. Nice football from Tunisia to the delight of their supporters. Measured ball forward, Valerie with the cutback. And Aucha once again with the important intervention for Uganda. Mato swings it out wide, a bit of space. And a striker goal when it fizzed low and hard from Dennis Amedi. Was saying he could hit them earlier. Darman seeing it all the way. Well, the changes are coming, but they're coming from Uganda. James Brigeri, just 17 years of age. Called up after impressing at the Under-17 World Cup in Qatar. Is on. So Makula coming off. So to Stephen Makwala. And Baba Al-Hassan also on. Well, Bulgaria doesn't turn 18 until February. Al-Hassan, Baba will sit at the base of midfield. And that is an instant introduction for Baba Al-Hassan. You can see why it's been given. 25 years of age, plays his football in Romania with Steaua Bucharest. Or FCSB as they're known these days. Born in Ghana, but chose to represent Uganda through his mother. Only made his debut last month with Baba. Driving run this time. Baba gets it right to break it up. Bulgaria. Resbury, coolly done. Shawat. Well, Uganda, Tunisia beat Mauritania 4-0 in the group stage at the 2021 edition of the Africa Cup of Nations played in early 2022 as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. And they matched that today. And I'll read the player down. Ron. Bit of space here for Ben Rondan. measuring. Sassy. Valerie with time and space to deliver into the middle. Couldn't keep it down. Inviting the ball in. Putting his head wherever it hurts. As you can see, just escaping the brute of Gorgeous Chorash. Obita switching the play out to maybe that's a lovely pass. Striker goal. Just right. From Civic. One of the brighter performers for Uganda today, always fading away. I talked about a big game on Saturday between Tunisia and Uganda. Tunisia and Nigeria. It's going to be a very big game for Uganda when they take on Tanzania. In a match that will surely decide both teams' fortunes at this competition. Carry on doing. Well, Mato for once cannot control it. Surely, nice bit of skill to Sassy. Nice turn, and got away. Can they make it fall? Deliver it into the middle. And Sally, I agree with that. It's solid hand on it. And down looking to his fellow substitute. Scary. Abdi. Heading with his defensive duties into Scary. And what's the cutback like into Sassy? Well read by Kayondo to cut that out. Making good roads down that left flank. Tunisia, Mato for Uganda. And he could have taken it on. Just falling apart a little bit in the final third, Uganda. Ben Rondon. There's some good energy since he's come on. Medjbury, assured on a hat-trick, of course. Fouled. Fouled by Kayondo. So Kayondo. Free kick in a very promising area. A nice smile on the face of Kayondo. He's gone in with a rash challenge more than once tonight. Sammy Chibelsi is going to make a couple more substitutions, surely. Which the referee has spotted. Return to Cup. Plays this football with Esperance, former African champions. Comes on for Sassi, who's had a really good game. The Cartoon Eagles captain. And I'm sure he will not be able to grab a hat-trick because he's off, and on comes Ismail Garbi, 21 years of age, the winger. Oh, it's been a fine night for Ashuri. And he is warmly applauded off the pitch by the Tunisian supporters. Well, surprised that he gets a big hug from his coach. Well, Medjbury looking as though he fancies this. It is Medjbury, and it's turned behind for a corner. Two good hands on it from the Uganda goalkeeper. Watched it all the way. Decent effort from Medjbury, just going inside. Medjbury again. It comes back to him, another second chance out this. Just runs into Mato. Mato fell by Hussein Takar. First involvement. To give away a free kick. Just his fifth cap tonight. Takar. Step back in 2023. Well, Mato, he's done, and possibly he's rested for the game against Tanzania. Alan Okello is finally on. An attacking midfielder, 25 years of age. creative force as Carlo. What can he do in the 5 minutes or so that remain? Creative football. Carlo with Vipers. Captain Uganda at the African Nations Championship or Chad. Earlier in the year it was Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania warmed up for the Nations Cup in 2 years' time and hosting the tournament for African players based in their own domestic leagues. Or can Uganda grab a consolation? They've only ever scored once against Tunisia in their previous 5 meetings, conceding 16. Now 19, of course. Mangonda. Overhit for Charlotte. Well, Craviondo for once on the end of some of the treatment that he's been dishing out earlier. Again, trying to cut. Sebastian Tunecti will also be coming on. He's in Scotland with Celtic. And Medjbury coming off, he's had a fine game. The central midfielder. Really has driven Tunisia forward tonight. Another warm embrace from Sami Trabelsi. He was an uncompromising player himself and so enjoys watching Medjbury. Nice switch of play from Bulgaria. Into the middle it goes. Over all the heads it goes as well. Luciano. Now the Abdi forward having taken the captain's one down. With a space on this right-hand side, into the middle it goes, and that's well cut out by Valerie. Forward, there'll be 5 additional minutes. Well, maybe going to the floor under the hand on the shoulder. That's a nice bit of control from Dendron down, and that's a nice strike as well from him. He just ghosted past. Again with that right. Falling a million miles away. Can Uganda sign off in style? Oh, they can. Oh, they thought they'd got a consolation, and they have got a consolation. Slight hesitation in the celebration. And Uganda have got themselves on the score sheet. And Tunisia, well, a blot on the landscape. Big deflection of Valerie. Winners on Mehdi, profiting from that mix-up at the back. And Darman with no chance whatsoever in the Tunisia goal. And he was brought on to score goals, and Mehdi, at least he's given those supporters something to cheer and take home. And who knows how important that goal might be in the final reckoning. Wins the corner. Stuck to his task gamely, despite that early caution. Garby will take the delivery. I'll swing a free header. Oh, that's a really good save from Salim Magula. Instant reaction. Firmly met by Brom. And a really solid left hand to it by the Cranes goalkeeper. Swung in again, too deep this time. Forward to Tanekti. Not too long to keep that out, and now all eyes turning to the Gabonese official. And when he might signify the end of a match that Tunisia wrapped up a long time ago. Well, there it is. There goes the final whistle. And Tunisia have won an opening game at the Nations Cup for the first time since 2013. They led early on through Elias Skiri, who headed home Hannibal Mejbi's corner, and then there was that man on your screen who took centre stage, Elias Ashuri. A stunning volley shortly before half-time, and then a routine finish midway through the second half. Dennis Omedi with a late consolation for Uganda, who were well beaten. They will now meet Tanzania on Saturday, as Tunisia take on Nigeria in a clash of the teams at the top of Group C. It's been a fine, impressive start by the 2004 African champions. It has ended in Rabat. Tunisia 3, Uganda 1.
The high fives, the excitement, the joy of getting your first win as regards Morocco 2025 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. And this is how they would like to start. And they continue their winning streak against the Cranes of Uganda. We'll be very disappointed how they turned out ultimately. So as things are looking currently, the Carthage Eagles are on their way to see if 2025 will be a different outing for them. Well, this is how things turned out for Group C. Nigeria looking for its 4th Afcon title, coming through with a win over Tanzania. A belabored way victory would say, but still 3 points are on board. Tunisia also with a big scoreline, so far the biggest scoreline in Afcon. Tunisia top of the table with 3 points. More goals are scored. The name of the game is goals, and you have to score a lot of it. Uganda are bottom of the table as things currently stand. So hopefully second fixtures will actually tell a different story or consolidate on the points that has been gathered so far.
TenBet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
This is Afcon, my friend. Everything is a competition.
Afcon 2025. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on Supersport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by TenBet.
There's never been a better time to switch to Supersport Bet. Get 250 bonus spins with your first deposit. Whether you love the excitement of slots, the strategy of table games, or the thrill of live casino action, Supersport Bet has it all. Claim 250 bonus spins plus 100% first deposit match up to 5,000 Rand. Switch to supersportbet.com. T's and C's apply.
exciting moment out there. Tunisian fans, of course, will be very delighted with how their team have turned out tonight with the victory in their opening day of fixture. Remember, it has been a poor outing for them as regards how they open up in Afcon. If you have to go as far back as the last 5 fixed Afcon openings they've had, in fact, they lost their last 2 against the last season. It was against Namibia, and it's good to see them come back to get that win. And an emphatic one, you dare say, against Uganda. Earlier today, we saw DR Congo, a hard-fought victory, no doubt, but Benin Republic with that man Gana Law, who led Nigeria last time out, incidentally, couldn't come through for a Benin